Good evening, students of class 11. A very warm welcome to all of you. We have already studied in our previous video about the average velocity of an object. We extend the topic to the instantaneous velocity and the speed of an object. Now, let us understand the meaning of the heading itself as usual. What is the meaning of the word instant? You are finding out the velocity of that body at that particular instant or time. Say 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. That is the meaning of instantaneous velocity. But in the previous section, in the previous video, we have learned about average velocity. So how to convert that same concept into instantaneous velocity, let us understand that. Okay, so first let us write what was the formula of average velocity. Yes, what is the formula of average velocity? Displacement upon time. Displacement is delta x, which is equal to xf minus xi by delta t is the total time taken by the body to displace. Correct? Now, using the same formula, let us find out the value of instantaneous velocity, or simply we can say velocity. In a regular physics words, it is just called as velocity. If it is an average velocity, then we say average velocity. Otherwise, simply velocity means instantaneous velocity. Now, which is writing the average velocity itself, but limiting the average velocity such that delta t tends to 0. That is instantaneous velocity. So, what is instantaneous velocity? Is limiting the average velocity such that delta t tends to 0. Now, what is the meaning of this delta t tends to 0? What is the meaning of delta in maths? Change. Change in time. Delta t, change in time, is becoming 0. What is the meaning of that? Change in time becomes 0 means we are talking about that instant time. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Clear? So, we are limiting the average velocity itself such that delta t tends to 0 means we are limiting, shortening the time, reducing the time such that it becomes a instant time instead of the time taken. Fine. So that is our instantaneous velocity, where we are limiting the average velocity itself with a limited time interval such that it becomes 0. Okay, then we need not write every time limit delta t tends to 0, delta x by delta t. How to read this? Limit delta t tends to 0, delta x by delta t. So, how do we actually denote it as? Dx by dt. Therefore, the formula of instantaneous velocity is dx upon dt, or d by dt of x. Now, what is this dx upon dt? Is the first time you are going to learn what is differentiation. How to read this? Differentiation. This is how to read it. Okay? Differentiation. It is a very vast chapter concept in maths. Differentiation of the variable x with respect to the time t. Okay, so you are differentiating the variable x with respect to the time t, then you write it as d by dt of x or simply dx by dt. We will do the differentiation, we will learn the differentiation in our video, but first understand what is instantaneous velocity dx by dt, which is differentiation of x with respect to time. Fine? Okay. Now, this is what is you have to understand about dx. Now, simply when I say dx, means again it is change in the position itself, but very less. Suppose I have a displacement of the body from A to B by any path. You know, for displacement we have already learned there is no need of choosing the path. We are only interested in the initial and the final point. Correct? A is xi, B is xf. Fine? Now, here let us denote it this by x. Then what is differentiation's meaning here? You are breaking this x into small parts. Those parts, small parts, are dx, are written in maths as dx. So what is dx? The smallest part of that quantity. What is dt? The smallest part of time. 1 second, 1 millisecond, 1 microsecond. That is dt. What is dv? The smallest part of the velocity. So, what is the meaning of d? D means differentiation, which means you are considering the smallest part of that physical quantity and you are differentiating it. So, I have explained the mathematical meaning of differentiation and the physical literal meaning of differentiation, in which you are breaking that physical quantity into small parts. Then you call it as dx. If you want to find out df, what is df? It is differentiation of f, force. You know all this. dp, differentiation of pressure. You know pressure as a physical quantity. dp, differentiation of pressure. So all these quantities, differentiation is denoted by d in front of it, small d and not big D. Okay. So, we come back to the definition of instantaneous velocity, which is dx by dt. Differentiation of x with respect to time. We will learn about differentiation very nicely, do some numericals on it also in our next video. Okay. Now, whatever we have done just now and what you have to remember is this and this with the definition and the formula. Fine? Okay. And take a note of whatever we have done just now. Take a pic. I shall move. After this pic, we shall go to the next page in the same video. So keep watching till the end. Now, let us go to the next page where we will try to calculate velocity by graphical method. Okay. So we have considered one xt graph. What is x? The distance or the displacement of the body. T is the time taken for the displacement. Fine. Okay. And we have plotted a graph. That yellow line is one curve. Not line, yellow curve we have. That is the plotting of x and t for that particular object. Different values of time, different values of x. We joined all those points, we got that yellow curve. Correct? Now it is already taught to you in the previous video how to find out the velocity of the body for the particular time interval. Okay, so let's say that the body is traveling from P1 to P2. P1 to P2 within the time interval 1 and 5. Okay, what is the time interval delta t? 5 seconds minus 1 second, that is 4 seconds. And the distance traveled is P1, P2. Now using our normal slope formula, we can find out its average velocity from P1 to P2. Why are we using the word average? Because we are considering 2 points for a time interval 4 seconds. So let us say V1 bar, that is average velocity, is equal to P1 P2 displacement upon 4 seconds. We will get the average velocity of the graph. What should we do to get the instantaneous velocity? We should reduce the time interval. Now our time interval of 4 was 4 seconds. Let us reduce the time interval now. Fine. So let us consider points Q1 to Q2 within the, let us name this as delta T1, 1.5 to 4.5. Okay. So what is our time interval between Q1 and Q2? Let us name it as delta T2. 4.5 seconds minus 1.5 seconds. What have we done? What is our answer? 3 seconds. First it was 4 seconds. Now it is 3 seconds. What have we done? We have reduced the time interval. And we have found out V2 average velocity, that is Q1 Q2 upon 3 seconds. Fine. Like this, by reducing the time interval, we are shifting this line outwards or towards the curve. So first we got the yellow line, then lowered it and we got the red line. We will still lower it at the point P. At P. What will happen to the time interval? It will tend to 0. Because at the point P, I cannot say a particular time interval. I have reduced the time interval. Interval I have reduced to 0, not the time. I have reduced the time interval such that delta t tends to 0. So at the instant t is equal to 3 seconds, I have the point P. Agreed? At 3 seconds, I have the point P. Now I don't have 2 points. So how will I find out average velocity? I don't have time interval. So how will I find out average velocity? So what should I do now? I will find the slope of the tangent drawn at P. Agreed? I will draw the slope. I will draw a tangent at a P and find the slope. Slope I know how to find out. Taking 2 points and time interval divide. So I will find the slope of the tangent where at the point P. What am I finding out? Slope of the tangent at the point P. That will give me the instantaneous, that value will give me the instantaneous velocity at the point P. And the direction of the tangent of tangent. See the direction of the tangent? Okay. The direction of the tangent at P will give me direction of velocity at P. Fine. So I have got the velocity, instantaneous velocity at the time t for a point P where delta t tends to 0 at that particular instant. Okay, so what did we do? We took 2 points, found out average velocity. Again we reduced the time interval, found out average velocity. We went on reducing the time interval till the extent that the time interval delta t tends to 0. Now how to find out the average velocity? Because I don't have 2 points. I don't have time interval. At that point, I will draw a tangent. And I will find the slope of the tangent at that point. That slope will give me the instantaneous velocity at that point P. And the direction of the tangent will give me the direction of the velocity at the point P. So by this graphical method, we can find out the instantaneous velocity. What is another way to find out? Numerical method. We shall do the numericals for that. Agreed? Clear? So keep this concept in mind and take a pic of what we have done just now. In the next video, we will do the differentiation and we will do numericals based on the differentiation. Fine? Take a pic.